The brain already runs a simulation machine, your default mode network. It's like a movie studio in your skull, constantly projecting possible futures. Pair that with the emotional salience system, which is basically the Rotten Tomatoes critic of your inner movie. And boom, you get self-correction when the movie feels bad enough. If you just tell someone what to do, you're an annoying salesperson. If you make them feel their shitty future vividly, their own nervous system says, fuck this path, pivot now. That's persuasion without convincing, because they convince themselves. Imagine you're standing at a fork in the road. One road looks like Disneyland. One looks like a landfill on fire. Most people say they want Disneyland, but they keep sleepwalking through the landfill. If I paint the smell of burning trash so vividly in your mind that you gag, you run toward Disneyland by instinct. That's this tool. It's like parenting a stubborn kid. You can't just say, don't touch the stove, it's hot. They won't believe you. But if you let them hover their hand above it long enough to feel the heat and imagine the burning, their own brain wires the lesson. Never fucking touch that. Think of it as emotional time travel. You're a director showing someone their own future documentary. The question is, do you make it a horror film or an inspiring hero's journey? The key, the horror preview makes them pivot. The horror preview makes them commit. A farmer sees his neighbour's crops failing because the neighbour never rotates his field. The farmer says, change your planting. The neighbour shrugs. So the farmer says nothing, but invites him to walk the scorched earth of a field gone barren. The neighbour sees the cracked soil. Imagine years of famine. Without a word spoken, he changes. The vision did the convincing. The default mode network. It's like your brain's sandbox mode. It stitches together memories and imagination to build a simulation of me in the future. The amygdala, insula, and emotional circuits evaluate whether that simulation is safe, dangerous, or desirable. If you vividly imagine yourself 10 years from now, overweight, broke, lonely, scrolling TikTok at 2 a.m., the same circuits fire, as if it's already happening. That disgust, it's not hypothetical, it's neurologically real. Learn to wield that disgust like a weapon, create it, show it, amplify it, then pivot to the alternative. This is the essence of all transformation. You either run from pain or toward pleasure. Most people stay stuck because they don't feel the pain of the future strong enough. They numb it with denial, distraction, dopamine. When you rip the blindfold off and make them watch the movie of their life, if you keep this shit up, they finally pivot. Big picture consequence, this isn't manipulation, it's alignment. You're letting reality slap them awake before reality actually slaps them awake. But I don't want to scare people. Isn't it scarier to let them walk off a cliff blindfolded than to shout, look down? Sometimes compassion looks like terror. What if they hate me for it? Hate is temporary, regret is forever. They'll thank you later. What do people actually value? Health, freedom, love, dignity, success, contribution? You elicit these by asking, why is this important to you? Then you weaponize the awful future by linking their value to its destruction. If you keep doing this, imagine your health collapsing, your freedom gone, your relationships strained. because that is what's on the line. Pace their values, then lead them. And because you love freedom, you're the kind of person who changes course before it's too late. So why do people resist? They fear rejection. If I speak this truth, people won't like me. If you sugarcoat it, you're lying. People respect the one who shows them the storm before they drown. They fear change. It's too hard. Hard now or hell later. You choose your suffering. And as you imagine now the smell of heaviness, the disappointment of a life unfulfilled, your mind knows which path not to take and begins searching automatically for the better path. You can already notice how your nervous system lights up when you imagine the pain avoided, the disaster dodged, the freedom restored. And every time you imagine a shitty future vividly, you naturally pivot, you naturally upgrade without even thinking. Because your system won't tolerate staying on the dead-end road. If you don't do this, you'll spend years arguing, convincing, explaining. And people will nod, smile, and keep doing the same stupid shit. If you do this, you become the pivot point. You let people feel their own downfall so vividly. They swerve before the crash. They change, not because you convinced them, but because their own nervous system demanded it. This is science, the default mode network, emotion, self-simulation. This is intuition. Your gut, disgust, pivots faster than reason. This is spirituality, karma, cause and effect. You reap what you sow. This is persuasion, pace values, then lead to change. This is father energy truth. If you keep this shit up, you're fucked. But if you pivot now, the kingdom is yours. If you let people imagine a pleasant fantasy while they walk into their own nightmare, you've failed them. If you show them the nightmare before it's too late, you've saved them. Your job isn't to convince, it's to turn their own brain into a mirror. So when they see the awful path, they vomit, turn around, and sprint towards something better. That's not manipulation. That's mercy.